Hello everyone, welcome back to Honey Beginnings in the apiary again, doing our weekly hive inspection. We've had terrible weather, probably the last month, so it's lucky to get another break in the weather today, so I can actually get in here and do an inspection. Going into, like I said, Hive 1. Last time we checked there was still no queen, so today I'm going to spend a lot of time really doing a good inspection, making sure I hit every frame. I will be really looking for the queen. Barring finding the queen, really cross my fingers that I find some eggs. If that doesn't happen, then this hive's really in trouble. We're either going to have to do a combine or try to do it another emergency swarm. Didn't work the first time around. There's still a lot of activity outside the hive, so it's still a strong hive at this point. So once we get done this one, we're going to go in the Hive 2 and do that weekly inspection as well. But without further ado, let me get in here. I'm going to smoke these down. We'll see what we can find, and I'll talk you through it as I go. While we let that sit for a second, just wanted to point out, should have opened it up the other way, spilled water on it. Anyway, I just wanted to point out that I am going to be swapping out my feeders with my new feeders. So hopefully they'll work a little bit better, we won't leak. I don't see really any ants around it like I saw last week. So we will get in here in a minute and see what we have. So as you can see, this feeder, heavy vacuum drawn. It's probably about halfway or 3/4 of the way empty. This bottom board is wet with sugar syrup, so it has been leaking. I don't think it has been leaking down through enough that it's causing any problems, but I don't want it to continue leaking, so I'm going to definitely swap that out. At this point, I'm going to move camera a little closer so you can actually see down inside the hive. I brought my logbook out with me this time too. I want to make some good notes, make sure that we know which frames have what in them. Can't afford to make any mistakes with this hive at this point. Now last time I was in here, I did swap out this top box with regular cell foundation. It's holding up pretty good. They haven't drawn any on frame 1. Nothing on frame 2. Nothing on frame 3. Nothing on frame 4. Nothing on 5. Nothing on 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10. Squish bee here, get her out of the way. See, I have a lot of drones in this hive. I had one whole frame of drone comb that happened to hatch, and I think with the weather they haven't gone out to do mating flights themselves, and it has led to a large population of drones in my hives. I'm hoping that's not going to stress them as far as resources. I don't really know what to do about it. So that's the first box done already. It's really easy to do an inspection when all that's on it is foundation. So I'm into the next box. Really going to be looking at this point to see if I can find a queen. There is still some foundation in this hive or in this box, so they haven't fully worked it, but I'm hoping that they have been doing something. So this is why you carry, you see I have a notebook here, a logbook. I have it tabbed out by hive. and it has these little pictures on it, shows what each frame or which each hive has. So I go in here, I can look at hive 1 and know based on the last inspection, looking at this box, that frames 1, 2, and 3 were foundation, and then frame 4 was 50% drawn comb. Then we got into honey and nectar. So if we have more drawn comb than last time, then we're doing good. So frame 1 is foundation. Frame 2 is foundation. I am going to look, even though it's just foundation, I am going to look to see if I see a queen. They might have dragged her over here. Nothing on this one. We're at frame 3 and they're actually starting to draw out comb, so they have made some more progress, which was good. I'm going to let you see. We got a drone here, drone here, drone here, drone here, drone here. So as I said, there's a lot of drones on these frames in this hive, because we had that one frame hatch that was nothing but drone brood. I'll try to get some of this ladder comb off. So this video may be a longer video as I go through here meticulously. Been trying to get better. We did hive 3 the other day. Unfortunately, the GoPro ran out of batteries, so I didn't get a chance to get the whole inspection, but the whole inspection was over in like 12 minutes. When the hive is going well and the bees are doing what they're supposed to, it doesn't take long at all. So you see there's a lot of activity flying around me. I really think that there's still no queen in this hive. They seem to be a little bit more nosy about what I'm doing. So I'm in frame 4 now, and it's just drawn comb and nectar. Both sides. They've been drinking a lot more syrup, but I think that's because of the drones in here eating all the food. There is some capped honey on here, but they've already opened up some of the cells and are using the stores. Again, got lots of ladder comb on these. I'm stuck. So I didn't see a queen on that frame, frame 4. Moving on to frame 5. This is heavy. Again, nectar. Still some capped honey. Right here you can see some capped honey. So that's good, they are working it. See a queen cup here, but it's dry. I'm not going to be bothering with the ladder comb on these from now on. Let's let it stay. Seems to be making more of a mess and bugging the bees more by doing that. Not seeing any pollen in here, just nectar and honey. Moving on to frame 6. A lot more capped honey, as you can see all right here. Not seeing a queen at this point. Got a drone checking me out though. Some nectar and pollen. So one cell of pollen is all I see. I do see some pollen on this bee, on this frame 7, which is good. So frame 7 is nectar and pollen. You can see right there on that bee crawling around. If I can find her again, she's got lots of pollen on her legs. Frame 8, looks like they're just now starting to mess with frame 8. They haven't really drawn anything out, but they are on it. Frame 9 is just foundation. Again, I am just going to check to see if I happen to see the queen on it. And frame 10 is just foundation. Ten, 9, 8, 7. So 7, they were drawing it out in the last one. So they've only worked on maybe one more frame. I'm still going to keep this other box on top of it. If they want it, they'll use it. I'm hoping that the queen didn't walk her way up here as I'm getting ready to take this box off, because I'd like to find her in this bottom box, or find evidence of her, as I said. So we're in the bottom box now. If we're going to see the queen, most likely it's here, so we're hoping. So frame 1. This drawn comb, a lot of ladder comb. Trying to keep it in frame for you guys. It's all drawn comb. I'm lifting it up out of frame here. I'm looking for eggs. See no eggs there. Moving on to frame 2. Very light. It's just drawn comb. I want to do a comparison here. See if this is drone comb. No, it's just regular worker drone, or worker comb on frame 1. Frame 1 had me thinking it might have been drone comb, but it's not. It's just Drawn open cells, nothing in it. There is some nectar on the inner side of the frame, nectar and pollen. No eggs or larvae that I'm seeing. So it's just, there's a good, they're bringing in pollen. Like I said, you see this bee right here. Look at all that pollen on her leg. So they're still working, even though they may not have a queen. They're keeping the colony strong. So frame 3, it's a combination of different combs. We got drone comb, worker comb. They're filling it with nectar. Again, really looking for a queen in here. Look at that. The majority of this entire frame is drone. Not much I can do about it that I know of. If I try to shake it, they're just going to fly back. Hopefully you can see that. That was a queen cell that looks like it had hatched. And these other two look like they may have been queen swarm cells at one point, but are pretty much dried up now. So frames 1, 2, and 3 are just open comb. 2 and 3 have nectar in them. Moving on to frame 4. There's more drawn comb. No eggs. There is a queen cell, but it is dry. So one of the things we may do, like I said, before we do a combine, because I'd hate to go back to 2 hives at this point, is to now take a frame of eggs from hive 3, which is going pretty good, and put it in here and see if they'll do a different artificial swarm. Frame 4 here has nectar and honey in it. Again, lots and lots of drones. Going to frame 5. It's pretty much dry. I think these drones, there's 4 queen cups on here, they're dry. Maybe the queen mated and they're cleaning out these cells for her to lay eggs. That would be nice. But as it stands right now, they are dry. There's nothing in them. There is some nectar and pollen on the edges. You can see a lot of nectar and pollen right there on the edge, but the center's pretty dry. And it looks like there may be eggs. Trying to get it up in the light. Can't tell if that's just a reflection or if there's actual eggs. I think it's just a reflection. It's so hard to tell. It looks to me like there may be some eggs in here, which is a good sign. I'm hoping I'm not just seeing things because I want to see them. I'm trying to get a good shot in the light. they look like eggs. I'm going to say we have a few eggs. So, that means I'm really going to be looking for the queen nail. I might actually come back in a few days and yes, I definitely see eggs. Definitely see eggs now. So I'm going to have to come back in here in a few days, see if they turned into larvae. Then I will be more than happy. So now that there's eggs in here, I'm definitely looking for a queen. So I'm looking for that movement across the frame. Sorry, I'm really sticking with this one frame. I know you're just kind of looking at nothing, but I don't want my eyes playing tricks on me. I really want to know that what I'm seeing are eggs. I'm 99% sure at this point that they're eggs, but if I come back in a couple days and they're larvae, then I'll know for sure. So this frame's really heavy with cat brood, but this is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is frame 6. This is the frame that we put in there to possibly do the artificial split. So it had already had larvae in there, so it makes sense that there's cat brood. I'm hoping that maybe if the queen's in there, she's utilizing this to lay more eggs. I don't see any other eggs in this one. Like I said, I am going to take a while with this one. Let me move the camera up a little bit so maybe you can see both things that I'm doing. I'm not sure if this is going to work or not, but I'm really looking. So I'm hoping frame 5 had eggs. Frame 6 does not look like it has eggs. I'm going to move to frame 7. Maybe the queen's been laying eggs in this one. So there's nectar and pollen in this one. That appears to be it. As I put this back together, I'm going to inspect each cell again. Oh, this frame 8, is full of nectar. It's another queen cell. Now here's the one, I'm pretty sure if we had a queen hatch, this was where. You see that queen cup that chewed through, or the queen cells chewed through. So definitely something emerged from there. Just what happened to her, I don't know. This is just nectar. Lots of nectar and pollen. I really got the sun at my back. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out this frame 3, 4, 5, frame 5. Make sure I saw those eggs. See, now I think my eyes may have been playing tricks on me. There's an egg. I do see eggs in here. They're spotty, but there are eggs. There are eggs in here. Definitely eggs, which means that there should be a queen. They're not clustered and clumped together like a laying workers. So frame 9, lots of nectar. Looks like it's just nectar. I'm hoping these drones die off sooner than later and let the workers do their work instead of having to tend to these drones bringing syrup down. Frame 10 is all drone brood, dry drone brood, and they did put some nectar in it. But the majority of that is drone brood. This is the frame that hatched. You can see all this right here is drone brood, and that's what why we have such a large population. All right, so frame 10, open drone brood. I need to check my phone here, pardon me. My mentor gave me some advice on how to stack these frames, so I'm going to have to do that. I probably should have done it before. So just so you know, what he told me is I need to put all fully drawn and mostly empty frames in the center of the box and fill up the rest of the bottom box with totally filled frames of honey and nectar. In the second box, place all drawn frames to the outer edges and fill the middle with foundation. So this second box I'm going to have to move around. So I'm going to go back through here now. Again, look for the queen a little bit more. Double check that I saw, or triple check that I saw those eggs. Hopefully we'll see the queen this go around. So, again, just going to talk through it for my own sake as well. Frame 9 is open cell with some nectar. Frame 8 is nectar and pollen. Got lots of pollen on that one. frame 7, nectar and pollen. Frame 6, and this is the one that we had swapped out. It has cat brood on it still. I'd love to see some eggs in here since it's it is not to be. It's a nice frame of brood, which means I'll have some workers for a little while. There's even still some larvae in there. They should be being capped soon. And there's a pupa, should be capped very shortly. I don't know if you can see that right there where that white is. It's a worker. Check frame 5. That's where I would like to see the queen. And now there are eggs in here. I am really confused because I'm not seeing a queen at all, but I am seeing eggs. Now I would think that if they were old eggs, they would have been cleaned out by now. So I'm not going to do anything at this point as far as trying to make an emergency swarm cell or anything, or an emergency queen cell. I'm just going to come back in a few days and see if those have turned into larvae. Sorry, I'm just wasting time. Really, all these drones is making it hard to see if one of them's a queen or not. So I'm only seeing eggs on one side of this frame. Well, no, there looks like there's some up top there. Alright, so there's at least a frame of eggs. At this point, I have to assume that there's a queen. Just don't know where she is. Back to frame. That's not good. Well, if there was a queen, that could have spelled her demise. I seem to have made it relatively intact. Nectar and pollen in here. So this frame of empty comb, I'm actually going to put towards the middle. One. So frame 1. So frame 1 is now going to become frame 5. I'm going to put it right next to that frame of brood. Hopefully they'll lay some eggs in there. So I've had better inspections. I don't know if my hands were just getting tired. I really dropped that one frame, which not good. Did not see the queens, but pretty sure I saw eggs. Gonna get this box on and then manipulate it a little bit. Well, stirred them up. So now I got to manipulate these. Got to swap these out. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is frame 5. It's full of nectar. I'm going to go put that in slot 1. So now frame 1 is full of nectar. I'm going to pull frame 6 out and put that in slot 10. Frame 6 is going to go in slot 2. So now frames 1 and 2 are nectar. And 9 and 10 are nectar. And the rest are mostly foundation. So hopefully that will stimulate them to move up here a little bit into this third box. We'll see what happens. So now I got my top box on. And I did forget something. So I'm going to pause the camera right here. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Reason I had to leave, what I forgot was an emery shim. See if I can, you see this? So it's a little shim that goes above the super, and it gives a little bit of extra space. The reason I need that is the new feeders, as I turn these upside down, see it drips out, but it is now drawn a good vacuum. So this goes right over the top of that hole, but when you do that, it fits on top or sticks up above the top, so you need this little bit of a shim here to give it the space that's needed for the top cover to go. So I'm going to cover this up now, and then this one will get done, and I'll be back with you for hive number 2. So that's all buttoned up. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed what you saw. I know it was long. I'll try to break up the video, maybe edit it out. So what you see as a final product may not be as long as I'm putting out here in this little conclusion. Looks like I did find eggs on frame 5. So we're hoping that with that we have a queen. I'll come back here the next sunny day before the weekend. Hopefully we'll have a nice day. Wednesday we're supposed to have thunderstorms and rain, but if we have a break in the weather, I'm going to come in and see if those eggs have turned into larvae. If they've turned into larvae, that's a good sign that they're fresh eggs and we have a laying queen. Hopefully we'll see more eggs at that point as well. So that's all I have for now. Again, thank you for watching. Remember, click like below. That's what helps motivate me to keep making these videos, and put all the information out for you new beekeepers to learn along with me. So every day is a new beginning.